Are you wondering how to get Pinterest traffic to your e-commerce store? Well, that's what today's video is all about, and I actually have a really great example of a pinner I found on Pinterest earlier this year, and I used her in a training that I created all about Pinterest marketing that I gave away for free during quarantine, and I'm going to use that same shop owner in today's video to show you exactly how an e-commerce shop owner is sending traffic to their blog and to their products, and they have quite a good sized amount of reach, Pinterest monthly viewers, which tells me that she's active on the platform, and her pins are everywhere. Every time I search anything related to jewelry or necklaces or dainty jewelry, minimalist jewelry, she comes up. So I just wanted to use her as an example in my video today. She looks, from the outside in, looks like she's doing a great job. And this is the same strategy that I would put together and that I have put together for my own e-commerce clients. So if you want to know the basics, the foundations of getting a Pinterest strategy in order and sending traffic to your shop for e-commerce brands, this is physical products that you're selling, this video is for you. Stick around and I will go through all of it. Hey, hi, hello, I'm Heather Ferris, in case you didn't know that already. I run a Pinterest marketing agency and have done so for 4 years. I have helped hundreds of clients in both organic and promoted pins to get more traffic and more sales to their businesses using Pinterest. So that is what I do and what I know. Welcome. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe. If you're not new here, hey, share this video with a friend that needs it. I'm sure there is someone in your realm that could use it. All of my Pinterest marketing strategy really revolves around a 5-step process. You have to have these 5 pieces in place for your Pinterest strategy as a whole to work. You have your foundation, which is building your profile and claiming your website, doing all of the nitty-gritty in your settings and getting it set up. Number 2 is your keyword strategy, and that is super important. You actually need the keyword strategy before you can strategically build your profile. The 3rd thing is your image strategy. The 4th thing is scheduling, and the 5th thing is analytics. So I want to talk about all of these. I'm going to touch on all of these in today's video as it relates to an e-commerce store. Let's start with your foundation. The most important thing that most e-commerce shop owners skip and they don't do, which is really frustrating, is setting up a solid foundation for their online store. They may go and create a few boards on Pinterest and send shop pins from Pinterest to their store, but in most cases, they are ignoring everything in the foundation section. They don't install their Pinterest pixel or event codes. Please do that. I'm going to have tutorials on the channel on how to do that for specific platforms to come, so make sure you check back for those. Make sure you claim your website and you create a really great profile. So boards, your title on the platform, put your banner up on the top. You can do videos or images, it doesn't matter. That's kind of up to you. And then just make sure that you're using really great keywords and your store is connected to Pinterest. That's all in your settings. Most all of this is going to take place in your settings. The second step on this is really researching the keywords that your audience is searching for on Pinterest. This is something that, again, most shop owners just don't do. They just send their pins, they pin their pins to Pinterest, and their pins are then going back to their site. But if you're not using any really great keywords, if your audience can't find you because they're searching for things and you don't come up, then you're really wasting your time. So make sure you are researching and using the keywords that your audience is searching for on Pinterest so you show up. If you need to know how to find keywords on Pinterest, I'll flag the video somewhere up around here on how to use keyword research on Pinterest in 2020 going into 2021, so that video will still be relevant in 2021 unless they change something again. But in the meantime, I'll make sure to link the video. The next step is to create an image strategy. And this is where I'm going to actually show you this shop owner. She owns a shop called simpleanddainty.com. She sells all sorts of really beautiful necklaces and rings, and they're all really dainty and minimalist and just really pretty. So when I ran across her, when I was putting together this video, I was going to use an example of jewelry as in today's case study. So when you search jewelry, a lot of shop owners, a lot of people selling jewelry are completely missing the boat with using long pins with text overlays. Simple and Dainty does that. They are just using little tiny square images with images of the jewelry, and that's it. They're not talking about the pain points that people may be having. They aren't showing their jewelry in different ways. It's literally just a ring on a finger, like this, or a necklace on a neck. It's boring. And when you have a search result like that, where you just type in jewelry and then all of the pins look exactly the same, you're just gonna be stuck in that sea of sameness that I've talked about in the past in some of my other videos. You don't wanna be stuck in the sea of sameness, and that's why Simple and Dainty stuck out to me. Because when I was searching for things like tangled necklaces, which I just had over the weekend, my girls are 5 and 10, and they're always playing with my jewelry and it gets tangled. So I searched for tangled necklaces on Pinterest, and her pins came up, which is why I'm using her in today's video. So again, pain point that your client or your customer is having, make sure you're using those keywords, and then you're using them on your imagery as well. Now, part of your image strategy as an e-commerce shop owner, if you don't have a blog, now I'm gonna talk about this from both angles. If you don't have a blog, your image strategy can be sending people to your shop items and your category pages and just using different tall images of your product in various styled ways. You can do styled on a body, and maybe on, if you're doing necklaces or jewelry, like for this example, bracelets on a wrist. You can style your jewelry as a flat lay and take pictures like that as well. I will put here on the screen some examples of what Simple and Dainty does. She does a fantastic job with this. She has all sorts of styled on people, off people, pins with text overlays, pins without text overlays. She does a really great job. So, here's that example of that here. I just showed you different ways that you can do this if you don't have a blog. Now, Simple and Dainty does have a blog. She does a really good job with this of educating her audience and her customers on her jewelry and why they should buy it. Now, a really great example of this is this particular pin that talks about the different kinds of gold that is used within her jewelry. She breaks it down. I think this is a fabulous way to send traffic to her site and to ultimately get people to buy her products. That's what you're wanting to do here. That's the strategy, is to get them in the pre-buy phase when they're in that user intent phase of research and really capture them then. And that's what Simple and Dainty is doing in this particular example. She's educating her audience on the type of gold used in her jewelry and then getting them to her site. She talks about the differences, and then she calls them to action to buy her products. This is exactly what you should be doing. Whether you're selling furniture or you're selling home decor, maybe you're selling artwork like this, which I found this girl on Pinterest and she's amazing. She's local here in Arizona, in my city, which again, I found her on Pinterest. So no matter what you are doing, what product you're selling, you can educate them before they buy based on the pain points that they are experiencing. Now, my pain points and how I found Simple and Dainty was through tangled necklaces. She sells necklace detanglers where you can have multiple chains together and they won't get tangled up. And that's exactly what my girls were wanting to do when they were playing dress up, was wear multiple necklaces together, and then they got tangled, and then it was a ratty mess, okay? So making sure that you're educating your users. You can do that by sending them to blog posts, and then on the flip side, you can have styled pictures of your product, maybe like this on the wall. Maybe you're selling mugs and you style your mug with food items. Whatever you do and however your style calls for, you style your product and then you can send pins straight to your category pages and your direct shop pages. Now, you have this image strategy and you are going to create, this is something that a lot of people ask me, how many pins do I need to create per week? It's not really about how many you need to create so much as the quality of the image that you're creating. Being really strategic with your keywords and your pin title, your pin description, and the text overlay. As long as you're being really strategic with those pieces, the rest of it will fall in line and you'll get into a groove. And the more you create imagery and the better it does, and the more you read your analytics, the better you're going to get. Now, what I would suggest if you're really confused in the beginning about how many pins I need to create, you really need to probably pick up and purchase my Pinterest system. I'll put it in the link below. Basically, I walk you through an entire system for keywords, building your foundation, images, analytics, scheduling. I walk you through all 5 of those pieces that I talked about in the beginning of the video on getting you organized, and that will help you actually deliver a better product in the long run because you're organized. We talked about imagery, we talked about keywords. Now I really just want to touch on very briefly scheduling itself. Really, it doesn't matter how you schedule your pins. I have clients where we schedule them manually and also have clients where we schedule them using Tailwind. Both clients are growing month over month. It doesn't matter really in the long run. It just matters that you're staying consistent and you're being strategic with your delivery of the keywords, the board strategy, and all of that. So if you need some more tips and tricks on how to schedule, I have videos on the channel for that. I will make sure to link a playlist below and you can go and check those out. The last thing is really reading your analytics. You have to read your analytics to figure out what's working and what's not working. If a pin is getting a ton of impressions but there's not any clicks, chances are it's not connecting with the person. They're not intrigued enough to actually click through and figure out what that pin is about. It may be a pretty pin and the impressions may even be attributed to your profile and they didn't even see the whole thing. So do not judge your entire strategy on whether it's working or not based solely on impressions. You really want to look at clicks. Which pins are getting the most clicks? And you can do this inside your Pinterest analytics. When you drop down from impressions and choose clicks, it'll show you the pins that are getting the link clicks. It'll show you how many link clicks you're getting, and then you can compare those numbers with Google Analytics. I do not personally prefer to use Pinterest Analytics for judging link clicks and how much traffic I'm actually getting. I prefer to use Google Analytics for that. And what I will do is go into Google Analytics and go to acquisition, social, network referrals, Pinterest. I open it up on the last 30 days that I'm reviewing. And from there I can see how many sessions I actually got from Pinterest, and then which posts or products were the most popular. If you are using a site like a Shopify store, but they may have some analytics that you can view there. I do believe that you can connect a Google Analytics and a Shopify store together. So again, that's something you're gonna have to research and figure out on your own. I do apologize about that. Making sure you're reading your analytics and actually figuring out what's working and what's not working is going to be vital to your success in the long run. Now, my last tip for you, and this is kind of like a ninja tip, Pinterest trends is making sure that you're creating content that's on trend, but you're creating the content that's on trend ahead of time. So when you're an e-commerce shop owner, you may very well have trends through the year where you get a lot of traffic and then you don't get a lot of traffic. So you have kind of these ebbs and flows throughout the year. A great example of this is during the holiday season. Everyone wants holiday traffic, especially as a shop owner, especially during Christmas when people are doing the whole gift giving thing all around the world. This is a great time for you to capture that traffic during the holiday season and increase your sales. So whether you're running a Black Friday sale or a Christmas sale, it doesn't really matter, but creating your pins for your Pinterest strategy, for your e-commerce store months ahead of time is going to be vital for you. We have a brand that we manage, a backpack brand, we started creating Christmas Pinterest images in September, going into October. Our traffic in October dominated. All of our pins that were top performing, the highest traffic pins, were all Christmas in October. And they have Halloween content, which was popular in August. So making sure that you're creating those pins for the holiday season in advance. I always go 90 plus days in advance, and really making sure that I'm dialing in on those Christmas keywords, gift guides, Christmas gifts for, fill in the blank, moms, dads, kids, aunties, uncles, whatever it is, making sure that you're really dialing in on those keywords and you're capturing that traffic in advance. So that's my ninja tip. If you haven't watched that Pinterest Trends video, it's in the playlist that I mentioned, and I will make sure that that is in the description below. Pinterest for e-commerce, it sounds confusing. I have a product I need to sell. I don't have a blog. How do I create imagery and get pins out consistently? Really, it's about getting yourself organized and thinking about the different ways your audience is going to be searching for your products, creating Pinterest images for each of those ways. Every single avenue that your audience is going to find you on Pinterest, make sure you're creating Pinterest images for that avenue. So the simple and dainty, I want to hop onto the computer. I know this video is getting a little bit long, but I want to hop onto the computer and just show you really quick some of the things that she's doing, just so like super quick, and then you can go back about your business and about your day. Okay, so Simple and Dainty does a really, really great job. She's got a beautiful store, and I'm positive that she's getting a lot of traffic coming from Pinterest. So on her website, this is just her main page here. She's got all of her shop products at the top, and then she has jewelry gift guides for the holidays. You can see she's got a holiday gift guide. So she's thinking about Christmas traffic here at the bottom, and then she's got her email list, and then again, there's just some more information down here. So this looks to me like a Shopify store, and she is doing a great job, like I said, with Pinterest traffic. So this is her profile. And you can see that she's just got her most recent pins as her image at the top. She's got her logo as her picture, Simple and Dainty jewelry. That is a keyword. Like, she's doing really great with her her store name is a keyword on Pinterest. That's how I found her. So on her created tab, which these are all of the pins that have been created recently, you can see that she's doing a really great job with the styling of her Pinterest images. And she's got text overlay pins and not text overlay pins. Now, most of her pins that have text overlay are blog posts. These go directly to blog posts on her website. So necklace layering tips. She's teaching you how to layer necklaces and then selling you the product that you need to layer with. So this is really great imagery. I mean, this is a Pinterest image in and of itself, but it's square, right? So that's why she's got the longer images of the same thing. And she's telling you all of the tips that you need in order to layer necklaces. This is exactly what you can do as an e-commerce shop owner when it comes to creating blog content. A lot of shop owners are very hesitant about adding a blog to their shop, but this is exactly what you want to do when you are creating blog content for an e-commerce shop. You want to show the behind the scenes. You want to show exactly how to use your product. Answer any of those lingering questions that your audience or your customer might have before buying your product in a blog post and send traffic to that. And then your call to action is literally your product linked in the post. She is using her product as the example. And that is why I am using her in this video as an example of doing a really amazing job with a Pinterest strategy for e-commerce shop owners. So again, just going back to her Pinterest account, I want to show you one of the pins without a text overlay that goes to her shop. And that is like any of these, right? So click on this one. And this is going to a category page, and you can see at the top she's got the really pretty image there. And this is just a category of all of the things that match this pin. So this necklace here is right at the very top. That's it. She's also using this in the image. The earrings that the girl's wearing, like all of this is relevant to that one pin. And all of this is, you know, really well done. She's got reviews on there. She's telling you the item. She's got colors. And then again at the bottom, she has those blog posts at the bottom so you can see, okay, well, this is a really pretty necklace. I was thinking about buying it for myself, but she's got a holiday gift guide here. Maybe my mom would like one of these, or maybe my sister would like one of these. I know my girls would love these. So she's got the blog post linked at the bottom, and that's a fantastic tip. She also is encouraging you to join her email list and get 10% off of your first order, which is a great way to capture email addresses as an e-commerce shop owner from Pinterest, and getting people on your email list, giving them a discount, encouraging them to go ahead and buy now, and then they will also get exclusive deals in their inbox going forward. So this is all I wanted to show you on how well she is positioning herself and using keywords on Pinterest to really be found. So that was a lot of information, and I hope as an e-commerce shop owner it's starting to make sense about how you can use Pinterest for your e-commerce brand. If at any point in time you're confused, please reach out. I do answer all of my emails and I try to answer all of my comments. So I will do my best to get back with you. In the meantime, please head over and watch the Pinterest for Beginners playlist. There are a handful of videos over there on all the things that you need as a beginner to get started on Pinterest. And that is it for this week. I'll see you next time.